Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will show you how to insert the selected drop-down list value into db.sqlite3 database. The default index.html page contains the header tag. After that, it's a select optional element which contains three values, red, blue and green, and one insert button control. Right now, if you check, we have only 0 objects in this table. Now let's select green. I have selected green, click insert. So here we got a message, the selected color green is saved successfully. Now let's check. I'm reloading the browser Django administration. So here we got one object is inserted successfully. Let's browse this one. What is this? The value of this object is green. Now let's select red. Now I want to insert red color. Right now we got only one object here. Now let's insert the selected color is red. Click insert. See here the selected color red is saved successfully. Let's check here. Again, I'm reloading the browser, the Django administration page. See here, the second object is saved successfully. Let's browse this object. What is it? It's a red. That's it. If you are a first-time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new Django web application, first we'll create a new folder in local disk D drive. Right click the mouse, select new, and I'm selecting folder. The folder name is ddl insert sqlite is my folder name. Let's browse the folder. Right now this folder is totally empty. Now let's create a new Django web application in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a Django web application, but first we'll add the folder which we have created in the local disk D drive. Go to File, then click Open Folder. Let's select the folder name ddl insert sqlite3 in the local disk D drive. Then I'm selecting the folder button, and the folder is successfully added to our Explorer panel. At the right side, we got the welcome page. Let's close this welcome page. Now in this folder, we'll create a new Django web application. For that, go to View and select Terminal. Here we got our terminal, which is nothing but a command prompt. If you notice the command prompt, the path it's showing, the D drive, this is our folder name. This is the folder name it's showing. Now let's create a Django web application inside this folder. Django-admin start project. Now ddl insert is my application name. And notice the application is created successfully into our project. Let me expand this application. In this application there is one subfolder with the same name and one manage.py, which is a Python file. Let me expand this subfolder also. In this subfolder there is some default Python files, settings.py, urls.py. All these files has been created automatically when I create this project ddl insert. Now the next step, after creating the project, we require one template folder to browse the HTML pages. So let's select the application name, right click the mouse, click new folder. The folder name is the templates, enter. And here we got our templates folder is added to our project. Let's add one simple HTML page to this template. I click the mouse again, click new file. Now the file name is index.html. And here we got our index.html page. Now let's add some HTML doc type. Let's close the HTML tag. Inside the HTML, I'm adding the header section. Now between this, now inside this header section, I'm adding the title tag. Title. The title is insert record selected drop down list value. After that, I'm adding the body tag. Inside the body, I'm adding the center tag, h1 tag, how to insert the selected drop down list value into db.sqlite3 database. h3 tag, Django web tutorials. After the headings, I'm adding horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line, I'm adding a simple select option element, which is a drop down list control. So select, inside this select, I'm adding the option tag. In the option, I'm adding select color. Selected disabled is equals to true. Selected disabled is equals to true. And after that, let's add the values option. Let's declare this one is red. Second option is blue, and third option is green. Just for the demo purpose, I'm adding only the 3 options in this select element. That's it. We have done the designing part. Now my aim is, if the user select one of these colors from the select option element, I want to save the color into SQLite3 database. So first, this is SQLite. So this one. So our next step is, before creating a models page, first we'll run the project. We'll check this project is working properly or not. Switch to the terminal in the command prompt cd. Let's add our application name. After that, click enter. Let's run the server python manage.py, run server, enter. And after I run the server, notice we got no issues found in our application, but we got some 17 unapplied migrations. So don't worry about that. Just check below that this is the web URL link. Control plus mouse click. And here we got our output of our application. The Django application is successfully working. Now my next step is, first I want to create a new user in the admin panel. So let's add admin, enter. If you notice, the admin page spawns with the username and password, but we don't have the user and password. So first let's create the username and password, switch to the coding part. In the command prompt, Ctrl C to exit from the server. And then first we got here 17 unapplied migrations. So to apply these migrations, we need to add this python manage.py.migrate. So let's add that one first. Python manage.py migrate, enter. Now after applying these migrations, next we need to create a super user. So again, python manage.py create super user. enter. And notice it prompts with the username. Here I am using the username is a Charan and the email ID is charan@yahoo.com. Enter. And the password is prompting the password I am entering 1234 and the again password is 1234. Enter. And notice I got some warnings here because I have not added the toughest password. Just to bypass this validation, click Y, enter, and here we got a message, the super user created successfully. And now let's run the server, enter. See, after we run the server, now we don't have any the warnings, the migration warnings here, and we don't have any issues. Now let's rerun the browser, the admin page. The username is Charan and the password is, and here we successfully logged with the Charan details. The users, let's open the users tab. And notice the authentication authorization users, the username is Charan, the email address I have given charan@yahoo.com. So now we require, let's switch back to the home page. Now I require one database object here. So let's create a database object in this Django administration, switch to the coding part, exit from the server, run server, Control C. Now let's add the models.py page. Select the subfolder, right click the mouse, click new file, models.py, enter. And here we got the models.py page. Now in this models page contains a simple class with some properties. So before that we need to import the class from django.db import models class. Now let's create a class. The class is the insert ddl is my class name, models.model, M is capital here, then colon. After creating the class, now inside this class will add the properties. Database in sqlite3 database, the id column is generated automatically, so I'm not adding any id column for the property. So I'm not adding any property for the id column here. So I require one column which is a color name, because I'm inserting the colors. Color name is a property, models dot char field, the data type, char field, max underscore length, the size of the is 100 max length. That's it. Let's save this file, open file and save all. After that we need to register this class name in the admin page. So again ddl insert, right click the mouse, click new file, the file name is admin.py, enter, and here we got our admin.py. First from django.contrib, from contrib I'm importing admin class. After that we need to import this models class also from this models page. In this ddl insert, our project name ddl insert, insert, make sure you give the exact name, then models import from the models page. Let's copy this class name, copy this one and paste here. Now let's register the admin site register, admin.site.register. I'm registering this class name from this models page. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. Now let's run the server again. Click enter. Oops, here I forgot one thing here. Open settings.py. We need to register the application here within single quotes. This is very important step. We need to install our application name in the settings file. So ddl insert. Now let's save this file. Again run the server. Control C. It's reloading the server again. Run server. So after we run the server, we don't have any issues. Now let's switch over to the browser. Reload the browser. So notice here the object insert DDLS is inserted successfully, which is our database. Now let's browse this object. I'm clicking that one. See what will happen when I browse. We got an error here. See, operational error. So here the error is the operational error, which means we don't have no such table of this object. So let's create this table. Again switch back to the command prompt of the Visual Studio. Control C. To create a table, Python manage.py migrate double hyphen run. I want to run hyphen sync db. Enter. So here the creating tables are created successfully. Now again switch. We need to reload the server first. After I reload the server, switch back again to the coding browser. I'm reloading the browser. See now here the table has been created successfully. Right now we have 0 records in this DDL insert. Now let's insert the value, this index value, the selected drop-down list value, into this table, insert DDLS table. Right now it's showing 0. So let's add the coding part to insert the records. After we adding the modules, now let's right click the subfolder, click new file. We require views.py, enter. And here we got the views.py. In this views.py, we'll write the logic to insert the records. So to insert the records, we need to first import some necessary classes here from Django.shortcuts. The first class I'm importing is the render class. The render class, because we have index.html pages and we want to render HTML pages, we need to import this render class. After that, we need to import our the class name also from the models page. Let's copy that one, insert DL from, instead of writing again this step, let's copy this one and paste here. That's it. Now let's define a function. Save item is a function name, request colon. Now here the logic is if request dot method, the method here double equals to, we are posting the data, so let's add the post colon. Again, if what values you are posting, the selected drop down list values. So if request dot post dot get method, the get values we are getting from this select optional image. So here in the select, let's define name is equals to, between double quotes, I'm adding our property name, color name here, and also in the views page, the single quotes the color name. colon, then let's call create an object. Let's create an object. Save value is equals to, save value is the object. I want to save value from this class name. This class contains our object, the property, sorry, the property. Now save value, just save value dot the color name is equals to the color name we are getting from this one. Copy this one and paste here. Let's save value dot save method. We are saving the selected drop down list value, the color name. After insert the selected record successfully into the database, I want to display a simple message. So for that, let's import another class from Django.contrib import messages. Let's add this messages class, messages.success method. In this messages class contains a success method. The first one is a request, and the second property is the selected color plus the color name I'm getting from this here. Save value the color name is saved successfully. Then once the record is saved successfully, after that we'll display the message, then it render the browser. So the function return render method request comma index.html. I want to render this page index.html page. Let's else part colon, let's add the same return method. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. After that, again switch to the index.html. We are posting the data. So after a horizontal line in the body tag, I'm adding the form tag. Form method is equals to a post method, and this form tag I'm closing after the select tag. Now the most important step in Django application, when we are posting the data, we must add this token csrf underscore token. csrf underscore token I need to add between percentages. So this csrf underscore token, it protects our data from the hackers. So if we don't add this line when we are posting the data, you will get an error. So make sure add this csrf underscore token. Then the last step, after insert the selected color, I want to display. Then the last step, once the record is inserted, the color is inserted, the selected color is inserted into our database, I want to display the message. This message, if you check in the views, I have written the selected color is saved successfully. So I want to display this message at the horizontal line. After the horizontal line, I am adding here the h3 tag. Before that, let's add percentage if messages percentage and if and also I'm adding percentage for x in the x place. You can add anything here because x is an object here. The values you're getting from this messages, the message and we need to close the for loop also, and for then between double curly brackets add our object x, this value here. So x is here, is our message. This message will print here between these curly brackets. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Now one more thing is open settings.py. To run our application, to run the HTML templates, switch to the templates panel in the settings.py. Notice here the dirs directories. I want to join this templates folder to our base directory. So os.path.join method, and the join method base underscore directory, comma, between single quotes, I am adding the templates. This is our folder, the templates folder name I am adding here in this settings.py page. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Let's save this file, save all, and we need to configure the URLs also. Let's open urls.py. If you notice the URLs, the path is admin, the default path is. So now our path is path between single quotes. I'm not adding anything here between the single quotes, which means now this path is our default home page. Views dot, I'm adding the views, open the views. I want to run this index.html. So this index.html is coming from this function save items. Copy that one and paste views.saveItem. We need to import the views class also from dot import and import views. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Oops, I forgot to add a button control. Come to the bottom of, after the ndif, I am adding the horizontal line, not here. Let's add here. Here after the select element, I am adding a simple input type is equals to submit value is equals to insert. Let's close the button control. That's it. Now let's save this file, save all. Now we'll check the final output. Switch to the browser. Let's visit the site. Right click the mouse, click open new tab. See, it's opening our application, the default home page. The default index.html page contains the header tag. After that, it's a select optional element which contains 3 values, red, blue and green, and one insert button control. Right now if you check, we have only 0 objects in this table. Now let's select green. I have selected green, click insert. So here we got a message, the selected color green is saved successfully. Now let's check. I'm reloading the browser Django administration. So here we got one object is inserted successfully. Let's browse this one. What is this? The value of this object is green. Now let's select red. Now I want to insert red color. Right now we got only one object here. Now let's insert the selected color is red. Click insert. See here the selected color red is saved successfully. Let's check here. Again I'm reloading the browser, the Django administration page. See here the second object is saved successfully. Let's browse this object. What is it? It's a red. That's it.